Right then, I often get asked what my favourite zombie movie is. It's come up a lot in live streams and such, and I've always said it, and I've always recommended this film, so now I'm finally doing a review of it. And that film may surprise you, you've seen from the title, but it's Maggie. Now, Maggie is a zombie movie unlike any other. First and foremost, it has Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. And if you guys think that Arnold Schwarzenegger can't act, you would probably be right, but you wouldn't think that if you had seen Maggie. Now, in Maggie, this man genuinely puts in a great performance, and it's a believable performance, and it's heart-wrenching at certain points as well, but I'll get to that in spoilers. We also have Abigail Breslin as the titular Maggie, and the wife of Arnold Schwarzenegger's character is Jolie Richardson. So for non-spoilers, basically it's a zombie movie. It's not really about the outbreak. It's not really about fending anyone off. It's basically just about a father and his daughter coping in this world. That's it. That's all I can really say for non-spoilers. There's a lot of emotional weight behind these two characters, and there is a true connection there as well. It's really, it's a great story. It's very simple, but it's a great story. So one thing to kind of praise about this movie is its story and also how it's been directed. It was directed by Henry Hobson, I believe the guy's name is, and he has credits on quite a few movies, but this was his directorial debut. And what a fantastic directorial debut it was. So the main thing he's known for is The Last of Us, and I believe it's the title sequence and also the closing sequence. He does a lot of design work, and he's been noted on quite a few films, but this was his directorial debut. And it is an astounding directorial debut for someone that's, never touched a film before. It's really good. In terms of who it was written by John Scott, and it's a really well constructed, tight story where it kind of subverts the zombie genre away from what we know. Because I'm sure, you've come to this movie review for a zombie movie review, but I'm sure along the road you've seen time and time again basically exactly the same zombie movie, because they're essentially always the same. Outbreak happens, survivors, post-apocalyptic, some of their cast die, and maybe they survive to the end, but maybe they survive and there's a cure, maybe they survive and it's left on a cliffhanger for what's going to happen next. They're all the same. But what they managed to create with Maggie is a self-contained story where it doesn't need to worry about the grander world at play. There is a zombie outbreak, again, non-spoilers, but there's a zombie outbreak, and it's just one family in one town dealing with it. It's not action. Arnold does basically nothing in the whole film, and it's really good for it. He's not cheesy in it. His lines are delivered to a T. Like I said, a lot of people tout Arnold Schwarzenegger as being a B-movie cheesy actor, and yeah, absolutely he was for a really long time. But this is a film where I dare you to watch it. If you watch this and you come back and you tell me that he didn't put in a good performance and he didn't act, I'll be very surprised. That's kind of my challenge to you. So, like I said, I can't really talk too much about the film because it's very simple. So I have to get into spoilers now. So you have been warned, but we're going to get into spoiler territory. 3, 2, 1... spoilers. So the story focuses on Arnold Schwarzenegger and his daughter. It opens with it's incredible cinematography. The shots are so well done, and it's on location as well. What they've managed to create was really a work of art. But he's rummaging through. You hear some kind of setup in terms of voicemails and things like that, and it's not needless exposition. No one's talking pointlessly. It's done really well. Filmmakers take note when you need to set the scene, do it through other means to create the story. I don't want to, no one does either. They don't want characters to tell you what's going on. They just want it presented to them so they can enjoy the movie. And that's what they do here. So he's looking for his daughter, basically. and he winds up in a hospital because someone has called him, and he finds out that his daughter has been bitten. So yes, it is a zombie movie. Yes, there are bites and a zombie form of virus of some sort happens. It kind of takes over the body. And there's strict quarantine procedures here where they can go away with their family for a certain amount of time, but then when the infection gets too strong, that's when they have to take them to quarantine. Quarantine is obviously this massive thing where basically they either get put down or they just allow them to kind of feast on one another. You don't see too much, but you get told it. And there's a very real fear there for anyone that's been bitten, because obviously they don't want to go here. So Arnold Schwarzenegger takes his daughter home. He takes his daughter home, and she's somewhat estranged from the family. He is with a new woman, not the daughter's mother, and it's kind of it's an exploration through relationship in this zombie world, whilst also having this looming threat of this infection taking over as well. And I know that sounds ultra namby-pamby, and it is. It's a really heart-wrenching film, because there's moments where, as the infection begins to take over, the daughter accidentally begins to feast on a fox. She didn't realise it. She can smell and taste meat, and she was just going there to set it free, but she ends up biting it. And she's in tears, and it's a really, it's a powerful moment, because she doesn't want to do this, but she does. And it's and there are some scenes which are not that good. She has some teen friends. There's a little bit of teen drama. It's not that bit could have been left out, definitely. But like I say, it is an exploration for a relationship within this world. So it's not a bad thing to do, but it slowed the pace down just a little bit. And it's a slow-paced film, so to have it pull back even further, it is a little bit to the film's detriment. I have to say that. But on a whole, it's great. There are some scenes where the police show up at Arnold Schwarzenegger's house, and they're obviously interested in how Maggie is, because everyone knows, they know when infections are happening, when the infected are there. And there's some really powerful moments where his character, confronts the police, and, he's got a shotgun, he's not afraid to use it, and it leads to, some very severe moments, some very serious moments where that this guy will do absolutely anything to protect his daughter. And he's not an action hero in this film. He's not big and muscular. He's just a father, and he's just looking to protect his daughter and keep her around for as long as she can and enjoy what little time she has left. And that's basically the story in a nutshell. Some real major negatives, and I have to point out these major negatives. The acting of the daughter, Abigail Breslin, is not the best in parts. She settles into it as the film goes on. She's really good for emotionally powerful moments where, it kind of pulls at your heartstrings. She's not very good with a normal interaction, which is odd, but it's a point to note that you will find it quite wooden as you go into it. Outside of that, Arnold Schwarzenegger's hair is an issue in this film, because it does, I know you're probably going to look at me and go, why are you talking about his hair? It's important to note, his hair is dyed black, but he's got a grey beard, and it's very out of place, basically. Whoever told him to dye his hair really shouldn't have done it, because it's quite out of place and it does disengage you from his character somewhat, because it's very forced, and it's a removal of the aesthetic that they should have created, basically. So those things to note, but on a whole, it's great. It's a really, really solid film. It is my all-time favourite zombie film, and it's also one of my favourite Arnold Schwarzenegger films, because it proves that the man can act when he's given a role, which he can really sink his teeth in, but doesn't require him to pretend to be some big action hero like he used to be. The guy can act, and this film proves it. So guys, if you've seen Maggie, what did you think? Do you appreciate it as much as I do, or are you on the fence about it? And if you haven't seen it and you've stayed this long, are you going to go and watch it now? Because that's another thing with these kind of movie reviews that I do, is if I can introduce you to a new film, then I'm obviously going to be really happy with that. So let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. As always, I haven't missed the H. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. But of course, I will catch you in the next video.